everybody. I am Emily McQuiggan. I am the teen programmer at Frederickson Library. You might know me from the Kunkel Creation Station, our makerspace down in the children's department. We're here again for another episode of Quaran-teen Talk. So today I am joined by Emily Young, Jessica Woolridge, and Deanne. I cannot remember your last name right now. Williamson. It's right there on my face. Oh my goodness. All right, so
they don't usually call me by my last name.
So we're all here today to tell you about things that we've been using to entertain ourselves during this quarantine time. So Emily Young is going to start for us today. So Emily, what have you been up to?
All right. So I don't know if you can hear. Please excuse any noises you're hearing. Since I live in the city, it's like constant. It's either a train or a siren or something. So sorry about that. But yeah, so I actually, it was funny. After our talk last time, I wrote down things that I wanted to talk for next time because I already talked about so much last time. I was like, okay, you need to cut yourself off somewhere. But so for the past couple weeks, I've been really, really into the app Duolingo. I don't know if anybody else uses that for language learning. So I've been using, I used to use it, back in like college, but not really, like only kind of, I had the app on my phone, but I never really opened it kind of thing. But I've devoted myself to a daily practice. And so I decided to try to learn all the Romance languages at once.
Wow.
So I'm doing French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian, which sounds crazy. I totally understand. But it's actually really interesting to see like how they all compare because they all have, certain similarities and I don't know. I'm finding it fun and interesting for now. It might get overwhelming at some point, but so I've been doing that, and then sort of in supplement to that, I've been using the app called Tiny Cards. It's kind of like flashcards, and it's linked with Duolingo, so I can like review like with flashcards about the lesson I just did. So that's been really cool. I'll let you know how that goes as I get deeper into the languages, but so something else that I've really enjoyed is following Patrick Stewart, whom I love, and he's been doing a sonnet a day on his Instagram profile.
That's
so
cute.
He like records a video of him reading a different Shakespearean sonnet, and I think he's up to like I think he's in the 50s now, maybe, or because he started like when the quarantine started.
Like months ago.
Right. Yeah. So, and I just think he's so cute and comforting, and like he reminds me of my dad, like reading Shakespeare, so so I've enjoyed that. And I dug out an old English literature book that I have that has some of the sonnets in it, so I can like read along too.
Aww.
So that's been my nerdy thing. And speaking of nerdy things, I've also been, and keep in mind, this is not something, like I'm not kind of immersed in this universe, but I've started giving the Star Wars movies a try, which I have never done before.
Welcome to the fandom, Emily.
Yeah, so I've gotten through the original 6 already, and it's been a wild ride so far. I know I still have some ways to go, but it's interesting. I've just never seen them before. So yeah,
I bet a lot of our viewers have opinions on Star Wars. So
yeah, get ready for that. Star Wars
opinion, let us know in the comments, and maybe at some point we'll do a whole video about Star Wars.
Ooh,
yeah,
I will watch from the sidelines from that one, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't love them and I don't hate them. It's like they're a thing, and like I enjoy aspects of them, but especially in the newer, the newer ones, like the 1, 2, 3.
The prequel.
I feel like Padme did not get enough screen time and did not have enough like action. I felt like they made her into more of a passive character, and I didn't like that. So, but I mean, it's, you know, like wars in space, like that's pretty fun, I guess.
Well, if you want more Padme, or if anybody watching wants more Padme, the cartoon The Clone Wars is on Disney Plus, and that has a lot of really great Padme stuff. It has a lot of great female characters in general, like Ahsoka is a young Jedi girl training to be a Jedi, and they just wrapped up their final season. So if you do want more Star Wars with more cool ladies, definitely check out Clone Wars.
That's awesome. I've heard of that. That was not included in my marathon, but
very long.
Yeah. I don't know if I can manage that, but maybe I'll watch, you know, a couple episodes or something.
Yeah, just the highlights.
Right. Yeah. And then the last thing, I just started a new book, a new audiobook called The Glass Castle. It's like a memoir. So we'll see how that goes. I'll update you guys next time.
Awesome.
One of my favorites.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool.
It is. It's a fun book. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, Deanne, would you like to share with us next?
Sure. A lot of I actually wrote mine down too, just because I tend to ramble and then I forget things that I wanted to say. Most of them have to do with things I've been watching, because that's just how things are going this week. So there are two shows that I am obsessed with at the moment, and they're extremely different, and you'll see in a second. One is Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I think it's on NBC. It's very much like an adult Glee. So if you were into Glee, I was into Glee for a while. This one is great, and it has some amazing actors and actresses in it. So basically, the premise of the show is that this girl, she can hear people's innermost thoughts, but they sing them to her. So there's like random dance breaks and sing-alongs, and I just love it. It's so good, but it's also
so fun.
It's also pretty like deep and heartbreaking at times. So it's like that's the adult part of it being, you know, like Glee. But I love the songs, and it's just a lot of fun. So I think they just wrapped the first season. So it's great to binge watch at the moment. The second show that I cannot stop watching is called The Rookie. And I'm a huge Nathan Fillion fan from everything he does pretty much. And so I loved his show Castle. And this was on a couple years ago, but it's like a police sort of show, but it's so funny with him in it because it's just the way that he is. I mean, it's very typecast. But The Rookie it's sort of the same type of character, but he's this older rookie cop, and he basically just has to learn all the ropes, and it's hilarious. So if you're a Nathan Fillion fan, definitely check it out because it's hilarious, but it's also like totally gripping, but it can get pretty intense. So take that as a caveat, because there's times that I can't watch it at night if that gives you any idea.
Mm-hmm.
So something else that is a little random is a friend of mine from college. He has done these live streams on YouTube every Friday at 7 o'clock, and he calls them Quaran-teen Cabaret. And he gets a bunch of people that he knows to sing Broadway songs. So he usually asks for donations to a charity. So it's at 7 o'clock. He's done 3 so far. And this last one, he had a theme of gender bender. So people were singing songs meant for different types of characters. And it's just a lot of fun. If you're a Broadway fan like me, it's something fun to watch. Even if you don't know the people, I don't know a lot of the people, but I know the songs and it's fun. So
did you sing anything, Deanne?
Oh, no. No. I just watch and I sing from the couch.
Yeah.
But if you want to find it, his name is Cody, Cody, Sherry, Sherry. And it's every Friday at 7 o'clock, which is a lot of fun. And the last thing is I have finally read the book that everyone has read that I am so late to the game on. But I read Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell.
I
Am I saying
love
her name
that
right?
book.
Rowell?
I think so, yeah.
I loved it. And I mean, I loved Eleanor Park, so I don't know why I waited so long, but it's great. So if you like Eleanor Park, check it out.
You definitely need to read Wayward Son and Carry On now that you read Fangirl.
Yeah, those are next on my list.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially Carry On is just like love.
Yeah. Yeah, I love her writing style, and I got hooked on the characters, and it's great.
Very fun. All right, Jess, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, I have to say that I had no idea how this quarantine talk worked. So I didn't even know I was going to be recorded. I thought some of the teens were joining us.
Welcome.
That's why I was a little confused, but I did bring some things that I have been doing, and strangely, I'm always into spooky stuff and folklore. So, you know, I pulled out like my copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales. I'm trying to kind of update that and get reacquainted. And I've been reading my South Central, well, it's going to be backwards on the screen, my South Central Pennsylvania Legends and Lore. So I've been hunting around for like virtual folklore and ghost tours and stuff. And I found through the Renaissance Fair and the Mount Hope Estate and Winery that every Saturday at 2 p.m. you can tune in to have somebody read you an Irish or Scottish folk tale or fairy tale. Yes, replete with an Irish and Scottish accent. So
a good accent or a bad accent?
It was very good, actually. I was really quite surprised. So I will be tuning in on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, my fairy tale. And then I also found out that other spooky spots like Eastern State Penitentiary on the Facebook page, they have all kinds of really, really educational clips where they're actually recording like a talk about the history of not only the facility itself, but it's a little grim, but the prison system. But there was a lot of information there that I just simply didn't know. So, and then talking about authors that we haven't read, believe it or not, I am reading my very first Toni Morrison novel.
Oh, wow.
Reading Beloved. I just started it. So, yeah, and now I can't put it down. Actually, I'm probably, after I finish some of my reopening plans for the library for when it happens, I'm going to go sit back down on my brand new Kindle that I ordered for.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have some classics lined up, you know, modern day and older. I mean, I'm not going to be tackling Ulysses or Middlemarch, but, you know, but there are some authors that, and Kafka on the Shore was the other one that just became available to me that I have never read. So I'm going to try to line them up and read some modern day classics that I've missed out on. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just really, really happy that I can be part of this and see what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. So I have been reading a little bit. I'm still not reading as much as I was before quarantine times. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Just like brain just isn't working the way it was 3 months ago. But I've been reading One of Us is Next by Karen McManus.
Oh, how is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Scary?
So it's the sequel to One of Us is Lying. That came out a couple years ago, and it's kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing.
Okay.
I would like that.
Yeah, so this is similar. It's a YA one. I know we have a physical copy at the library, I think, and we definitely have one on Libby because that's how I am reading it. And so it's just about like a bunch of teenagers. It's a sequel, so a lot of the younger siblings from the first book are main characters, and it, you know, there's a new gossip in town, spreading things around, and more secrets and mysteries, and it's fun. It's a good it's serious enough that it feels like a meal. It's not a snack of a book, but it's still fun and lighthearted enough, and well, not really lighthearted, but it's still fun enough as like a murder mystery that it doesn't feel like work to read. So apart from that, I've been really into watching TV shows that have an element of making to them. So this last weekend I binged the show Next in Fashion.
I love it.
Oh, I'm gonna write that.
Yes, so good. So it one of the hosts is Tan France from Queer Eye on Netflix.
Yeah.
And he knows everything about how to dress, and it's kind of like Project Runway. So there's a bunch of designers. They get some kind of challenge. For most of the show, they're working in teams, and then towards the end, they work individually. But it's just so fun to see what they come up with, and see all the interesting different perspectives that come in. And I have no sewing skill. I have no knowledge of fashion beyond Project Runway. But it's just you can see them walking down the runway and have an opinion on it, and say I like that dress, yes, I would wear something like that, or I would like to see someone on the red carpet wearing that, or whatever. So
I also like that they're nice to each other.
Yes.
I don't like competition shows where they're mean or are backstabbing or whatever. Everyone on Next in Fashion is oh sure, I'll help you.
They're so sweet to each other, and even after they split up the teams, they still go back and give their teammates advice. And then I think for the finale episode, they had to specifically tell them that they couldn't ask each other for help.
Right.
Which how sweet is that they had become close enough friends. So I've also, in the same vein, I've been watching Making It, which is Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, and that's their crafting competition show. So it's the same, as all those competition shows where they get a challenge, then they have to complete it. But this one, it's all crafters and makers. So some people are experts with felt, some people are woodworkers, some people are really good with balloons, all kinds of stuff. So you see them, make their stuff. So one of the ones I watched recently, they had to redesign a mailbox. So they each got just a plain white mailbox that you'd see on the street, and they each had to make it to match their personality. So one person made it into a tiger shark, and it had a bite bit out of the post. Somebody else made theirs look like paint falling down. So I've really been enjoying watching that kind of creativity. And my next thing kind of is lumped in with that too. I started doing this thing called Let's Make Art. I don't know if anybody here or anybody who's watching has tried it, but it's an art kit. It's a subscription box. And you get it, and it has all the watercolors and things that you need in order to make your art. So I did a peony is what I've done so far.
I saw that picture, and it's
it was
beautiful.
Really fun. But all of their videos are available for free on YouTube. So if you are interested in learning about watercolors, I believe they also have hand lettering and art journaling. But definitely check them out. Like I said, the YouTube videos are completely free. You do not have to buy the subscription box in order to access that.
And what's that one called again?
That's called Let's Make Art.
Let's Make Art. Okay.
Yep. And it's been really nice. And I don't have a lot of innate artistic talent, but I really love doing it, creating things. Just it feeds a part of my soul, especially now when so much of what we're doing is on this screen.
Right.
It's nice to sit back and turn on some music and get my paintbrushes out and just kind of chill out. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And yeah, so I think that's everything for us today. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we end?
I just had a thought, Emily, as you were mentioning Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler's show, which you've told me about before, and I have not remembered to watch. So thanks for the reminder. But also, I don't know if there are any Parks and Rec fans, but they did a little reunion like short recently. And I think it's on YouTube now. Like, you can watch it for free, which is what I did the other day. It was so like soul feeding. I loved seeing all the characters. It was so cute how they did it too. Like, they were kind of like Skyping each other, like they were in the, quarantine situation, and all the characters were themselves, and they created a little storyline, and there's even a touching tribute to Lil Sebastian at the end. So it was very sweet.
That's cool. I heard actually that anybody who watches the John Krasinski YouTube videos every week, Some Good News, which I love. I'm actually probably going to watch it after we end here. I look forward to it every Monday. It's so good. But I heard that they did a Office reunion on there this week.
Oh,
it was sweet.
So,
it was really sweet. I don't think it was quite as good as the Parks and Rec reunion.
Probably not.
That was much more like scripted and everything. But this was it was really cute. Definitely worth watching if you're a fan of The Office.
I love his YouTube video. It makes a Monday better than it was before.
All right, so I think that's all the time we have today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll see you again soon at the library. So bye, everybody.
Thanks for having me.